1 year ago, a man took a stand against racial injustice and police brutality by taking the knee during the U.S. national anthem. Colin Kaepernick has started something bigger than himself in this movement, and it's spread across many different sports. President Donald Trump, of course, has had something to say about it, but we are joined by this lovely panel today to discuss our response to all of these events. This is my time to talk.
Jasper.
Yo, I'm Jay.
I'm Maya.
I am Drew, and I'm host of the show. And our first question is, in light of everything going on in this country, do you guys feel that this is the best action to take against social injustice?
In terms of getting attention, yes, it has brought a lot of attention. However, I feel that the best way to hurt someone, to take a real stance, is to boycott. Hit them where it hurts. Money. You're talking about a huge corporation. You're talking about the NFL. You're talking about billions of dollars. And I think that has, happened with people saying that they're not going to watch, whatever. However, I mean, it has to be more uniform. It has to be on a much more bigger scale. And I don't think we utilize that a lot, boycotting.
So how would you suggest we do that?
Well, it depends on what the type of thing that you're protesting against. You know what I mean?
Let's talk NFL. How do we get the NFL to empathize for players of color and understand our position within it?
Just not watch, I guess. I mean, that's easier said than done.
Correct.
But however, I know my parents don't watch it anymore. I mean, you could definitely don't buy tickets, don't buy merch, don't whatever. I just think the problem with boycotting is, I don't know what it is, it might just be a mental thing, but it just seems kind of going out the way. And I don't think people like going out the way for too much. So when you're asking people to cut in to their regular programming, hey, don't do this, don't do that, it becomes a problem. However, I think the biggest issue is that as a people, let's be honest, this is affecting African Americans, black people. As a people, we know what's wrong. We just have a real hard time just coming together, rallying, organizing, and just saying no more.
So are you saying boycott the NFL? You guys agree with this?
Absolutely.
You guys all agree with this?
Absolutely.
So I won't expect any of you guys to watch football on Sunday.
Not Sunday. So Saturday I watch college football, but
Right.
Sunday,
NFL.
correct.
So you won't be watching it either?
Not a snap.
NCAA on you, baby.
Shit. Got support.
All right. Well, how do you guys feel about Donald Trump's president? Donald Trump's statement towards this stuff.
Okay. Could you recite that his question?
Yes, he stated that the NFL players that basically took a stand against this are a bunch of son of
Bitches.
for lack of a better phrase.
For sure.
So,
if anyone would, I want to add after me. I think with any protest, it just puts a riffle in white entitlement. What I mean by that is, whites have always had this manipulative control amongst us and over us as people of color, whether it's natives, African Americans, Asians, whatever. We ain't got to do the whole list, but we know. And once we put a riffle in that, and once we sort of deviate from their say-so, then you get the Donald Trump statement. And then you deviate from standing for the national anthem, then you get the outrage from the white Americans. And so it's not just at a political level, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think we've seen the response Kaepernick got, and now we see it on a political frame at the highest position of high positions. You guys can argue all you want, but the American president is the most powerful person in the whole entire world. So once you have that statement coming out of his mouth, not only did his election and his presidency awaken a huge group of people that feel the same way, that statement is sort of giving power to sort of speak out in that manner without sort of having a dialogue, which is dangerous. Because action without dialogue is, that's powerful. So.
And I agree with you though, because Donald Trump does have such a huge impact and such a big impression on a lot of people from the rural area. A lot of people, or a lot of white individuals who feel as though they don't have that voice. So Donald Trump gives them that voice. So when he speaks, bad and he relate and associate negative things with, blacks and tell us whenever we're trying to do something, beneficial for our kind or our culture, is always shut down by the president, and that's not really cool because, if it was someone white, he'd probably understand the significance then, try to figure out why that person personally, chose to, put, his knee on the ground and what was his reasoning behind that. But when it's blacks, to me, Donald Trump is just, well, yeah, you animal or you minority. It's just, why don't you want to understand our viewpoint? Why don't you want to look from our perspective? Why is it just, people of color just don't get that chance to just express themselves as well?
Sure.
Nothing Donald says shocks me anymore, and it never really did. Just the fact that being from New York, I saw him doing whatever he did throughout the state, wiping out communities to build his buildings. I already knew he wasn't a great person.
Right.
Wasn't the great person that people who voted for him thought he was. It's the fact that people who voted for him take his words as reality. That's what the problem is. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, this is what scares me the most about his presidency is that it's becoming, like you said, you're not shocked. Also, just because you grew up in New York, you already knew like what he was about. However, I think across the country, we have become so desensitized to his actions, and I just think that it needs to be. This is not normal. A president should not act like this, and that's what is shocking me is that. When he made his comment, I had to check myself. When he made his comment about the NFL being sons of bitches, I mean, obviously it was wrong, but I didn't even react. I mean, when you scroll past his Twitter, this is the norm. This is nothing out of the ordinary. The problem is that Donald Trump is that it's coming to the light. Presidents have always felt this way about African Americans, athletes. A lot of people have felt this way. It's just Donald Trump is a little senile. I don't know if this is on purpose. I don't know if this man is just really old.
Right.
But it's coming to the light. So that's kind of one way to look at it is just to recognize that this is nothing. You can go back to Ronald Reagan.
It's not even his age. She's always been this way.
Do you guys feel that the national anthem should hold any importance to anyone that's not Caucasian?
Hell no.
Why?
Well, we can break it down from the verse.
Break it down.
So, a little history lesson. I know some of y'all know, some of y'all may not know. There's a whole nother third verse that isn't sung. So, prior to the American Revolution being ending, obviously America won, now since we're all here. British would sort of bargain with blacks. If you fought with us, we'd give you your freedom after we beat America. There's sort of a little foreshadowing on it. Do you know? So, when the national anthem was written, there was this third verse, wherefore I don't know, but the moral of that verse is we're going to kill whoever comes against us, including the blacks, including the British, yada, 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 this, that, and the third. Again, you can go do your own research, you can find out wherefore, wherever it may be. So, when you have a verse in a national anthem that's taken out on purpose, people don't know that's taken out on purpose to sort of stem away from what that national anthem is really saying. So from that standpoint, why would you ever want to support that?
Right.
And then over history and just what we lived in 20, 21 years, 19 years, however old all of us are, you've seen what America's done to black Americans day after day, month after month. Like, it's, you a fool if you want to support that.
Right.
And again, that's me shooting down whoever, but I'm a very opinionated person, and if you stand for the anthem, that's your cause, but I think this was long overdue. I think this should have been done.
Right.
So, yeah, no, I don't agree with that.
I believe that every American should stand for the
Right.
national anthem.
Right.
That's your
good.
opinion.
Okay.
We're all entitled to our
Okay.
opinion.
Well, what's your opinion?
Personally,
Why?
But wait, I've never gotten the chance. Why do you
We
feel
all
that?
live here.
Okay.
Why not represent what we live here for, you know?
But
Is that flag for you though?
Right.
Yes, that flag is definitely for me.
Okay.
it's okay.
Okay. My parents
But
were
when
born
that
here, I was
flag-
born here.
When
Okay.
that flag was made, where were black people?
Hey, I wasn't here yet. I wasn't
Your
born
ancestors
yet.
were, and where were we enslaved?
That's my ancestors' problem.
Oh.
We were enslaved when the
Okay.
flag was made.
Okay.
There's some good
That flag was
opinions
not
going
made for
here.
us.
Some good opinions.
So.
Personally, I
Everybody be
stopped
understanding.
standing and doing the pledge in 5th grade only because my parents raised me to know our history, where we came from, how we were treated, and who did it. So once that clicks in your brain, I feel like it's just common sense that why would I stand for this? Why would I support anything
And that's
That's
pretty much the
against me.
reason why I don't support the anthem, is because I look for the benefit in the relation to African Americans, and I don't find it nowhere. So unless I see that relation somewhere, or somewhere we're associated with the anthem, then, you know, maybe I, you know, recognize it and give it a little more attention. But until then, you know, I don't support it, and I want to support it.
But we don't have any whites only signs anymore. We're fine. The flag stands for all of us at this point. Immigration is in, but we're good. Okay, so.
We don't have whites only signs, but I bet you if you walk through an all-white community, the cops will be called to come ask you if you're lost. Do you know where you are? Do you need any help?
It's okay.
Or it may just pull you over.
Flag is
From the
still
opposite side of
the
traffic.
flag
Or
is
shoot
just
you.
as important to me
Or
as it should be
question,
to
right?
you.
Right.
We don't do
True.
questions anymore.
True. No more questions.
You really believe that?
Right.
You really believe that?
Yes,
I
I
think you're
believe
true.
it.
You mean
I- yeah,
I think
you
that's
can.
what he's doing.
Yeah,
That's not
because
true. Alright.
I mean, but back to the argument of your ancestors. So your ancestors were enslaved, but are you happy how you're treated as a young black man?
I'm fine. My
So
heart's
now-
beating.
Okay, so now we talk about from a individual standpoint.
Oh, we thought
As
about the
an
country.
as an adult, we start growing, we start understanding, like, not only do our actions affect us, but it just individuals and the people around us. So when does your concern become your culture's concern and your people's concern? When does your well-being
We're
equate
all
with your
connected.
whole culture's well-being?
Right.
You guys, I think you guys want us to be more connected than what we already are. We'll be fine as a unit. I'm worried about myself individually.
Yeah, I got you.
You
Yeah.
gotta be. You gotta be.
Yeah.
I
But
respectfully
you're using an
disagree.
individualistic culture, you know, but you gotta use it for everyone's perspective.
Why?
Because, you know, when you use it as a collective culture, you know, you will understand everybody's position on that one.
Well,
Instead of
I'm
just individual.
asking this: if a cop shoots me, are you gonna die?
No, but
No,
I'm gonna be
right.
hurt.
So
Yeah,
I'm
then
gonna be
you
hurt.
gotta be
We're all
hurt,
gonna
but
be
you know,
affected
next
regardless,
day.
though. I'm not saying I will be less affected if it
I'm
was a
saying
white
go
person.
watch the football game and don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's the flag. It represents all of us. Are you
I
guys
think-
okay with that?
I think you need to take a couple of history lessons. You might be changed. And again, we talk about relativity.
Yeah.
Maybe your life has been cool, but I've been profiled. Chad's been profiled.
Yeah.
I've been
You know,
Absolutely.
everybody been profiled. It's like
Absolutely.
You guys are pulling a race car, y'all.
As a child, I was profiled. I was like,
Wait, do you guys feel that Colin Kaepernick's message has been damaged in any way, shape, or form?
yeah, absolutely, for sure. It's definitely been sabotaged.
How so?
I think from what it originally was set forth was, this anthem represents a system. That system represents the law enforcement of all kinds, CIA, FBI, any police department that's allowing this police brutality, and just overall under that big umbrella is social injustice for people of color. That was the original standpoint for the need. And now it's turned into this lock arms, F the military, F every police officer, F every white, just law enforcement official in sight. Like, it's never been about that. Now that includes all of that. If you corrupt, you out here killing people senselessly, for sure. If the shoe fit, we gonna make that rock. But it's literally a standpoint on social injustice and how we not being treated equally and getting equity. And it was just one of those. That's how he felt. He needed to take it out, and that's how he did it. Now it's a worldwide known thing.
right. He was using his platform of being high up to speak out on something that he believed in. The anthem, the flag, all of that, it was supposed to represent freedom. Obviously, everyone in this country ain't free.
Mm-hmm.
So he was speaking out against it. That's why he took his knee. And he made that very clear when he first started doing it. So turning it into all this F the police, F all of this, it was never about that. And that's not what the focus is. I feel like they changed the focus in order to get people to go up against him and against the real cause, which is that we're trying to fight for freedom still.
Mm-hmm.
It was never about that.
You guys agree? You guys disagree?
Oh, absolutely agree. Just to piggyback, you guys all hit the nail. But you know, a lot of people, it's become like a mess a little bit. You have a lot of people using this as a form of publicity. A lot. The owners, some of the players are kind of being a little outrageous with it. You know, they could just take the news. And you know, I think you guys saw on social media the guy who was doing his stretches or whatever.
I rock with that, man.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm all,
I
man.
like that too.
If you gonna sit and deny history and deny facts on how black folks is treated, you think I give a damn about your anthem? You think I give a damn about being a proper black protester?
That's true.
I'll spit in your face before I give a fuck about what you say.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true, and I feel that. However, but at some point there has to be a line of decorum.
What's the line of decorum?
The
Yeah.
line of decorum. If you want your listen,
Go ahead, sorry.
I had to have this conversation with someone. If I'm coming off as belligerent, if I'm coming off as talking crazy, if I'm coming off as someone that you just can't approach, you're not gonna want to listen to me. If I come at you with a clear, like this is my stance, I don't agree with it, this is the action I'm taking against it, you can either rock with it, you don't have to. But if I become, you know, this show, I'm bringing all this unnecessary attention on myself.
Isn't that-
I don't feel like
He
it's
didn't put on the show.
unnecessary.
He's stretched.
We're gonna let her finish. Let her finish. Go ahead.
It's
Go ahead.
okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's okay.
Kaepernick got the same amount of attention by just taking the knee.
Right, so
The
that was
same
wrong.
amount. You don't have to. What I hate hearing, I don't like giving validation to others. I don't like when people. I don't like when my actions offer the validation for another person to come in and undermine what I'm trying to do. So when if you have people just taking the knee, I'm a support, they should do that. But then you have others that are maybe taking it a little bit too far. I don't think that he's acting ignorant or anything like that. But I'm just.
So I got two questions. What do you deem too far, and what have we seen from this politically correct, proper black individual?
Because
you
all
get
he-
sabotaged.
I don't
did
think
was
people
stretch.
gotta be. I don't think people gotta be proper black, politically correct. I'm
Well, that's
just.
what you're saying with the knee. You
That
say
is
you
what
saying
you're
just take a
implying.
knee.
I'm catching
You
that
ain't gotta
same viewpoint.
stretch. You ain't gotta say fuck the police with your finger in the air. I'd be on my NWA shit if
He
I had
just
that.
stretched.
platform.
But I do agree with
I
her
would
though.
too.
I do
I
agree
see what
with her
you're
because
saying. I do see what you're
it all
saying.
started off as a non-verbal though.
Right.
You know, it all started off with Kaepernick not really saying much. It started off initially with just him taking that knee, and you know everybody just because of him being Colin Kaepernick and him being that third string quarterback at that time and having that little publicity and popularity that he had, that brought a lot of awareness to the situation of him kneeling. Now when y'all get into the video of the other young man with
It
him
detracts.
stretching, now it's starting to be a trend. Like now
Yeah.
he's starting to set a political and vocal trend. Like at first it started off as a non-verbal, so I do feel like it elevated in ways that it should not have, and elevated in ways it should have at the same time. And the way I say it should have is because it sparked more awareness.
Yeah.
And the way I say it shouldn't is because some people think that, you know, since everybody is doing it, I'm gonna put my own twist to it. It's not like that though. You supposed to, you know, stay, you know, strict with it all the way through,
Yeah.
and you know, just continue pushing that same message instead of trying to, you know, improvise and put in your own
When
message
your
at the same
movement
time.
is concise and it's linear, all they can talk about is the movement. When you look at the video,
Girl, did you not see the civil rights
Wait a
movement?
minute,
That was
wait a
as
minute,
linear as
wait a
linear
minute.
gets, and they sabotaged the shit out of that.
wait a minute.
I'm telling you, man, you put yourself out there as this proper black individual, you a target from the jump.
If you improper,
If you improper, now you a threat. Now they
It doesn't
really
matter
listening
what
to
you
you.
You have
Now they
to.
really.
As well.
you got
You know what I'm
other,
saying?
you got other.
And LaShawn
other
McCoy wasn't
stars
even
like
trying
that.
to be like this. Oh man, fuck this. I'm out here. Y'all, you know, get into it. Whatever. But he was stretching. But I'm with the full disrespect.
I
Being
am too.
unapologetic, bro. I'm not here to be proper. I'm not here to say my sirs and my mans and my thank yous.
You have to be.
I agree with that.
None of
You,
Because the way
I'm listening.
I don't feel like the
Go ahead,
distraction
go
was
ahead.
him being on the show either. I feel like he was displaying the fact that he doesn't care about what's happening right now. I'm getting ready for my game. I'm about to play.
That's
what,
true.
That's
what
it.
he was saying.
That's
I'm
all
about
he
to
there
play.
for.
Let me get ready for what I gotta do. I'm not
Play
worried
ball,
about
make
the
money.
anthem
That's what he
happening.
there
It's not
for.
happening right now.
You gotta think about the bubble of whiteness. Whiteness has surrounded us and made shit proper, not proper, right and correct.
Mhm.
You sound black, you sound
What is
white.
correct?
That's
You-
what's
yeah,
up.
Let's
like-
start there. What
with
is
the-
correct?
That's all-
You know
that's it.
what's
And why is it
appropriate for
correct? 'Cause
like.
they said so.
What's appropriate? What's an appropriate face for injustices?
You know what I'm saying? Or and then you talk about flag codes. White folks wearing American decal
Let's
shit
talk about that.
is incorrect. Laying out horizontally is a flag code. Is a violation of all of that shit.
All
So,
those flag
I'm-
codes,
bro,
they've
I'm-
been
I'm-
disrespected.
Yeah, bro, I'm cool on the this disrespectful, bro. First off, it is
I
cool.
didn't say it was disrespectful. I'm coming at it from a pure organizational standpoint. This is what I study, and if you look at trends, all right. So let's talk about the Black Panther movement.
I was just about to say
The
that.
Black Panther now, that is a movement that I that's what I'm saying. But you have to agree, they had guns.
It's
So
so.
long, but they stood.
That's
and-
like-
But wait a minute, they
I
stood.
got it. Let me take this. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, they stood with their guns and they were militant. There was no outlandish. I'm gonna. No, listen.
Militant isn't outlandish.
Militant can be used.
A black militant isn't the most outlandish thing in America.
Militant can be
outlandish in terms of
used.
that's what they view it as, but outlandish in terms of our code.
What?
Outlandish in terms of our code. This is how we act. This is how we do.
I get
This
what
is
you're saying.
You feel me?
Yeah.
There was no nonsense, and I have studied Bobby Seale, Huey P. Newton.
You can study all of them. Fred Hampton too. Study them.
And I have at a
We gonna be respectful.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
at a micro level, there was a code of conduct, and there was no nonsense. You had your guns, you stood up where you wanted to stand, and that was it. And that was the biggest message that could come across. I just don't feel like
Now that's
the
like
antics
now that's
are
like
necessary.
you can stand on the Capitol steps with your gun. And you can stand on the Capitol steps without your gun. You can take a knee, or you can stretch during the anthem. So which one? I would compare taking a knee, you stand on the Capitol without your guns, and you stretching during the anthem, as you stand on the Capitol with your guns. I'm still getting your attention, but now I'm doing it my way.
I agree with that.
I'm out here with my guns, my straps, my people, my fists. Like, I'm not going about it in your politically correct terms. I'm going about it how I feel, my spirit.
And that's, I gotta say something now. Now, you took any of those movements. You took anyone that was on the East Coast of Malcolm X, down south of Martin Luther King, you took any of that. All of that had nonsense in it. From the FBI. Every one of them had an informant. You can, if you want a micro study, I can give you books. I have them in my room.
I have them
Hold on, I'll let you talk.
Okay.
All of them had informants in it, so there was nonsense. And there was nonsense that was known of. So, if Martin Luther King feels they have to have silent protests and stuff like that, that was his game. If Malcolm X said we have to do this way, that was their game.
That was my point.
But my point is, you can't compare stretching as an inconsistency as not being politically correct or organized
Yeah.
to
I'm
taking
not.
a knee.
What I'm saying.
What he's saying is correct in the sense of if it gets their attention and they don't like it, that's what we want because we don't like being killed. So if me stretching is showing you that I don't like national anthem, then so be it. If that didn't get your attention as much as me standing in the locker room like the Steelers did, or taking that Colin Kaepernick, then we doing something there. Because now I got your attention to do so.
Okay. In terms of, I think I got a little misconstrued. Oh, yeah, obviously. Because I was not taught. Informants from inside are clearly not what the mission entails. You don't ever want informants in your organization.
Nobody does.
Okay,
Right.
then.
That's not she was.
That's you feel me? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that Malcolm X laid out, this is what we're gonna do. His was, you push me, I push you back. Martin Luther King
Malcolm X
was,
said the same thing.
wait, I
In the
said,
video, he said, if you push me, I push back.
Let her finish.
That's what he said.
goodness, Malcolm X said, when you push me, I push you back. Martin's was, you push me, I'm just gonna stand here and
Yeah,
love you.
and love you,
I'm
right.
saying that it
All
needs to
time.
be uniform. I'm not talking about informants and outside. Obviously, the people who are informants,
talking about
who can, well, that's not what I'm talking about.
Go ahead.
But that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that he's wrong for stretching. Merely it's coming from a suggestion of, it's coming from a suggestion of, listen, if you were to go under the little video, the shade room, wherever you saw it at, you would see various comments degrading him. And I'm not saying that that is a deterrent just because white people are degrading black people for standing out what's new. I'm just saying to help to further it as a suggestion, maybe don't take that route. Just
Wonderful
take
job.
the
Next
knee.
question.
think-
Our
Okay,
next
then.
question.
But, I
Our
mean-
next question.
Can I just
It's
give
an
me a
option.
break?
Our
It's
next
an
question.
option.
Our next question. I'm just
Alright.
saying our next question. We spent a lot of time on that one. Calm down. Our next question. Do you guys feel that the owners of these teams are doing anything for publicity?
Yeah, no,
People
sure.
who got money, they always looking for something as a way to get more money. I mean, whether they agree with what's happening or not, they just want the money. I don't think they care about any political stuff going on. It's not affecting them.
What do you think, Jasmine?
Oh, I agree with her. I'm in total agreement with her. Just to piggyback, yeah, like if things are also already steady and structural, you know what I mean, and just because a little bit of slacking and a little bit of disagreements arose just because of some of your players isn't conforming, doesn't mean that you're gonna lose out on money and all. It's just you got to just deal with that adversity with your team having that spotlight and dealing with some of your players who want to stand out, but you also as an owner got to back them up. You know what I mean? As an owner, you got to support them and back them up. And I mean, but if an owner was to trade a player based on that situation, then that's messed up right there. You know, then I'm in disagreement right there. But as far as the owner, you know, just still handling this business, you know, staying out the way and supporting the player as, you know, he expresses himself individually or collectively as a unit with some of the other players who agree. And, you know, I'm agreeing with that. But
I think this show, I agree completely with the show, 100%. I think the biggest thing with all of this is everyone's like, oh, Kaepernick is definitely skilled to be on a roster. He's definitely an NFL quarterback. But he's a distraction. And all these owners, distraction. We like him, distraction. We like him, distraction.
Right.
For you to get your ass out there and take the same goddamn knee he took, it's hypocritical, bro. I think it's America in its flesh. I think it's the epitome of white supremacy, of denying something and totally doing it in reverse roles. I think it just, and bro, a good chunk of owners in the NFL funded Donald Trump's presidential campaign.
True.
And then for you to get out there and hold arms, talk about he had a great divider, what the fuck you think he was saying in January?
Right.
Come out, get out of here with that, man. Like, I'm not for that, oh, let's be unified and do it. Like, come on, man.
I second that.
So once I sense the bullshit, bro, you're not about to get no type of 1, 2, 3 from me.
You right.
You're gonna get how I feel, what I want to say, what man I want to say it, whether it's extra black or just a little bit of black. You finna get all of it. And I don't give a fuck, man. Like, and I think that's the biggest thing right now. I think we sort of lost our trait of being unapologetic. And it's not shaming nobody, because it's hard, especially growing up in the suburbs myself. Like, being in white spaces, if you want to thrive and at least get to a place and an opportunity where you can make it out your own, you gotta bullshit. You gotta fake it till you make it.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And we all know that being at BW.
We know
You know what I'm saying?
Switching 24/7.
Every trip, like it's a lifestyle, it's a skill. But
Yeah,
when I sense you bullshitting me and you're not giving me 100% and you're not being an ally, there ain't nothing to it, man.
It's a different ball game.
Different ball game, bro.
Exactly.
And I agree with that. Well, thank you guys for your responses today to the questions that I asked you. Lovely panel.
Appreciate you having me.
All right. Catch us next time on My Time to Talk.